What's up, everybody? My name is Ron Empire, and welcome back to my channel. So last time, we took a little detour on my YouTube character, doing the power leveling for the melee range and vitality. So today, we're going to progress our new player's guide with a mob farm. So I'm going to show you in this video what the various mob farms that you can actually create later in the game, and I'll actually do a setup for you using my YouTube character to create the early mob farms that you have access to. Okay, let's first let me show you what I've got on my Twitch character, and we can walk around and take a look at some of the mob farms that you can create and some mob farms that you'll see in the later part of the game. Well, first, in the early part of the game, you'll have access to the slime grounds and slimes. So this is a really simple slime farm that you can start with. And as you notice, like this slime farm, you can just basically AFK, and slimes will appear on the ground here, and then they'll die instantly to these little spike traps. And I've got a little fence going around, and as you can see here, after a couple of hours of leaving your farm, either you AFK or you're just adventuring about in the game world, this is the type of loot that you'll actually see from your slime farm. The one above that is actually a different slime farm. It's the poisonous slime farm, and that's the purple color. And those grounds will be something that you'll be able to get access to more later into the game once you progress beyond the Great Barrier. So here I'm going to close this door here. I'm going to show you another example of how I just did like a mass farm of that, or mass production of the farm. See how I've got all these poisonous slime farms set up? I just did like a longer row than the one that you saw earlier, and this is just outside my base. So it's quite a lot, right? You basically don't have to do anything, and you'll get like all this loot. Here I see like the necklaces, the ivy ring. Here's like a figurine. Some other loot that you might get is another necklace here, right? This is probably another necklace. I think the other one was a ring, the Ivy's ring, and that one is probably the necklace that you can get. So yeah, I didn't really have to do much. I just set up the farm, go out and do my daily routine, do my adventuring, whatever it is. I mean, or I can just literally sit here and watch mobs appear, and then them dropping loot. So that's an example of a mob farm. And the reason also I did this construction is that you can actually just walk along this path here and collect all the loot. And I'm not going to do that right now, but you'll see that you can just walk along this here easily without going inside the farm to collect loot. Okay, and then let's see here. I've got another one down below, which is a more evolved mob farm. Okay, here's an example of a larva farm room, right? You can actually set up one where you can have all the larvas appear, and this is an example where it's very, very small, very simple, and look how much loot I've gotten, right? I've gotten larva meats, I've got slimes, I've got seeds. So this is another way that you can also do a farm room, is just have a slime in the room, right? Oh, here's an example, right? You see that? That was a larva that spawned from the Chrysalis that was on the ground, and then they just instantly died, and you can go in there and collect the loot. So this one was a simple version of the mob farm that I originally started off with. And then later I just realized that I can just do something like this, where it's even easier. Just one row of slime. This other row right here is probably not necessary, and I only did that just to make it look pretty. But yeah, you only need one row and set up the farm there. So here I'm going to go out leave this, and then show you a different farm room. And this is a little bit more of the advanced stuff, and this probably, you won't have access to any of this early in the game, but I'm just giving you a little preview of what it will look like in the later stage of your gameplay or your adventure. Is you can do something a little bit more complicated like this, where you have like a conveyor rails on top of like a Chrysalis tile, and all the Chrysalis or the larvas will appear here, and then they get pushed all the way over here to get killed on a trap. And then I just open this door here, collect my loot going along this path, and just leave. So this is another farm setup that you can do. So you get creative and do all sorts of farming with your mobs. So let me show you another one on my other character, my other world, and what else I did with the farming here. So this is another room that I've got here on that character for a mob farm. So here I did the same thing. I've got a purple farm here, or the purple slime farm, and I did like just another giant room where instead of the conveyor belts, I just laid out traps on all the tiles. So everything just instantly dies, as they spawn. And here I just, had a conveyor on the edges so that way it pushes the mobs off. And I made this one a lot easier because if you notice, right, on the map, it's kind of hard to see there, but on the map, I've laid down like the Chrysalis tiles, so you can actually go run in here and collect the loot around the farm. So this little tile right here is kind of hard to see, but it makes it easier to use a Chrysalis as a walkway because you don't want to step on the slime or the poisonous slime ground. And this foggy ground is actually pretty dangerous to walk on as well. Well, it's not super dangerous. It just slows your character's movement. So I made this as a mixed farm where I have a little bit of the slime farm. I've got a little bit of the purple farm. I've got a little bit of the molding ground mobs on that, and I've got a little bit of the larvas as a walkway because that's pretty safe to walk. And here you can kind of see I've got like crazy loot items like the ring itself. Let's take a tour here. So I walk in here, right? So if I step on this, right, you can see like I got the debuff, right? So I made it so that you can actually just walk through along the Chrysalis path. This is the one to collect all your loot. And see how I'm able to just collect all my loot without stepping on anything. And then see here I got like a molding ring, which is nice, right? This is all the loot that I just picked up. You got that axe that I just picked up, right? That's new. These coins here I just collected, right? I collected some seeds. I walk along here, right? And see I'm just collecting stuff. I collected the fiber, that was new. And then I walk over here and walk back out and leave. So that's a nice little mixed bag room if you just wanted to like dump all your mobs into one room. So that's an example of a mob farm where you can just have everything there. Here's another example, where I just did it where I only had one spike trap, right? So that way they will eventually just try to walk this way here, and then you just go in there and collect loot. See, here's an example. See how they just spawn here, right? They're gonna make their way towards this trap. So the easiest thing is you don't have to go inside the room. You can just actually open the door or fully go inside the room, but just stand right here in this path, collect your loot, and leave, right? So this is easy farm setup, all right? This is another example. So the reason why I made it like this is so that I can actually just walk here and just collect the loot without actually getting the slime debuff, right? And the one tile strip like this is also nice because if you didn't want to put the spike traps here, you can set up this as a melee farm room, right? Or even a range farm room where you just kill the mobs using your melee attacks or your range attacks to level up your vitality and your combat skills. So this little one strip is very useful for that, right? So if I wanted to, like, say, get all this, right? I can just walk along that path and collect it. So this is what I've done is for mob collection, and I did the same thing out here. Instead of like the wall tiles for the larvas, I opted to do the river, because they can't cross the river. And I didn't like to have the walls because I can't see into the walls. These mobs actually, the larvas, will actually gravitate towards the light and attack your light source. So in this situation, I just decided to use the water to contain the mobs without actually letting them out. And here I've just, you can just run through this easily as a one path and collect all the loot. And see, I'm collecting all the loot just like that, right? And just walk in, walk out. That's it, right? This is a really easy way to just go in there, collect all your loot, and then leave. Right? And I've done the same thing on this side, except for I experimented a little bit, where if the larvas appear here, if they try to leave, I made this path so they actually can try to leave the path. But this is enough tiles for them to get all murdered before they even reach the path here. Right, same goes with this. They get all murdered right here before they even leave the base, or leave their farm. Right, so this is another nice little way to collect loot. And see here, free loot. Right, now see how like I've gotten all this like new stuff. I got like larva meat. I've got a figurine. I've got like a peasant's chest. I mean that you can just sell. This is a very useful item, molding ring, or molding necklace, 23% range damage, immune to mold infection. So you just got to find the ring. Oh yeah, we just got the ring earlier, didn't we? No, we didn't. Okay, it's not on this farm. It's actually on another farm. But here we got the Ivy's ring, which normally drops off of the boss. And that we got from the poisonous farm. And so yeah, you can just AFK if you want, or you can go about your adventure and then just come back and collect a ton of loot. So here, again, this is my purple moth farm, and look at that! I collected a epic necklace from my purple farm. Just walk around like this and collect your loot, right? And this is stuff that I've created as a path into my base. I can just walk out like that. So if the slime tries to get in my base, I go collect loot on that. So I don't actually have an exit on that. Okay, so today I'm going to demonstrate the actual gameplay for setting it up. So let's go back to our YouTube world, and then we're going to go with the YouTube character. Right, and so how do we set up a farm, an actual farm? Well, you just need something like this. Right, you need the ground slimes, which you can get from let's take a look at our map, our progression so far on this YouTube. Well, here was where our Glurch the Abombinous Mass appeared. Right, remember in our previous video I showed you how to defeat the boss, and this is the slime area around him. He'll fill up the slime, the grounds with slime. So all you got to do is just dig it up like this with a wood shovel. So I'll show you that really quickly for those that are still new to the game, or new to my series here. You'll see how it's done. Okay, just get a shovel, dig up the ground tiles like this, right from where Glurch appeared. Or your other alternative for getting slime. Let me see here. Let me show you. The other alternative for getting slime is just keep going one direction, any direction from your core. So my core is here. If you go straight either south, north, or west, you'll eventually come across a track of slimes in the world, and that is the worm boss, Ghorm the Devourer. He actually goes around the base in a full circle all the way around, and it's a fixed path. He will never deviate off that path unless his health is low. Right. So here's the other part of his path right here. Right. So if you wanted slime and you don't know where to get them, you can easily go back to that path and grab all the slimes from Ghorm the Devourer. Okay, so that's how you can get ground slime. Okay, and so the next step is picking a place on your map. So let's see here. Where do we want our farm, mob farm, slime farm? So let's go ahead and dig out this area. So I'll show you. Let's go just simply choose this area here. All right, and place my torch down. Now, one of the things that I picked up from some players from my Twitch stream was a trick that was really useful, is how to get your torch to switch with whatever that's in your hotbar. So you can move the torch off your hotbar before you actually saw me like roll over my mouse and do the torch. Well, if you hold the shift key, it just automatically switches the torch with whatever you're holding in your hand. So this is very useful because then you can hold shift and then hit the right key and just place your torch. And I'll mention that in a different video, my adventures guide. So but you'll see in my previous videos I was actually manually clicking on the torch off my bar and placing it down. But now the really useful trick is to just hold the shift key and right click to place your torch down. So that's something I picked up from my YouTube viewers. So if you haven't followed, checked out my my Twitch channel, I meant my Twitch viewers. If you haven't checked out my Twitch channel, be sure to visit my Twitch stream and click on follow. And then if you've got some cool tips that you want to share, drop by and share it with me. I'm more than happy to learn something new. So all right, so let's take a look here what we can do for the fence. Let's go with the stone walls. I really like having the stone tiles. It looks a lot prettier than the wooden. So we'll go with stone fence. We'll pick up a couple of these. Oh, okay. And let's clear this out. I do want to clear this out. And look at that. We picked up a ring of stone. 2 rings of stone from just clearing out the walls. So if you guys wanted to know, where you get the ring of stones, you can see that it just appears from digging out the stone walls. Any of the stone walls, really. You can pick up the nice set of mining rings. Early in the game, if you don't have the ring of rocks, obviously, and you just have a bunch of these ring of stones, just stack 2 of them. Then you get 28 mining damage, right? So a lot of players was asking me oh, how do you get your mining level up? Just stack a couple of ring of stones until you find the ring of rocks. Okay, so here we're gonna set up I don't want to do it right there. I want to do it a little off from my my core here because I'm gonna go south. Okay, so I'm gonna do it right here. Very nice little flooring here. Like this. And you can do another row right here. Like that. And then you can just place your slimes in there. And that's it. And then you let it work. Now you can optionally have spike traps in here and turn it into an AFK farm if you want, or you can leave it and then you can come back and fight. So you can just drop slimes down like this, and that should be enough. But I just like to, they will actually only spawn from this because they won't spawn where the on top of the fence. But I just like to fill it up like this because then it looks a little bit more filled in. Alright, like this. And then you can do it on the bottom row too. You won't get affected by it. But if you wanted to, you know, throw another row here. But if you only have just enough, then you'll just the essential row is this one right here. Right. And then so here I'll do another one. I mean, you want to do as many as you can. I mean, the more you have, the more loot you'll get, right? The more spawns that you'll get. But if you only have enough, then just do whatever you've got. You know, you've got resources for. So here I can just place my light source here, outside of it, and then you just run across along this here without being affected by the slime. I'll eat this here, and I'm gonna clear this out. I'm gonna do one more row, and I'll show you. You just place you can place spike traps on that row. And since this is my YouTube character, it's still new. As you can see, I didn't do a whole lot of farming. Everything that you've seen up until now in the new player series guide, this is pretty much what I've done, with the exception of just going out and taking a little detour and powering up my skills here. Here, let's go ahead and choose this. I do want more mining, and I do want more running. Right. Oh, I got an extra point here. Damage after consistently running for a short period of time. That's useful. I'll choose that. And then this one, I'm just going to add all that in there. Okay. Now for that one, I'll just I'll pick out those later on when we fight the next boss here. Okay. And then let's go ahead and click this here. Place this down. Now, if you don't like the sand, right, you can actually just dig that up. And right, so let's say if you don't like the sand here, let's go ahead and dig that up. I actually don't like the sand personally, and so I want to replace it with ground tiles, for instance. And I can show you how to do that. And let's see here. Let's see, find some spots here where we can replace the sand or the ground tiles, because I can remove the ground tiles from another source here. So the best place to remove ground tiles. So we're going to come back to that since I do want to replace the ground tiles, and then we'll see if any of the mobs respawn. But here's a trick here for how to get more ground tiles. So I'm going towards Ghorm the Devourer's track, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not rushing to kill Ghlorm. As you notice, like I went and killed. So we discovered the Forgotten Ruins here. It's showing up. It showed up last time like that too. It just lets you know that you're in the Forgotten Ruins area. All right. Okay. Now, again, like one of the reasons why I'm not rushing to kill Ghlorm is because I want to use him to get ground tiles. All right, here I'm gonna place this down here. All right, so let's say you want a lot of ground tiles, and you don't want to take it away from something else that already exists on the map. You can just take it off of Ghlorm's tunneling path. So he passes around the base, but every time that he crosses his path again, he will refill anything on the ground with ground tiles that's missing. So if ground tile's missing, he will actually replace it and fill it up. So if this has water or whatever it is, he will actually just refill it with dirt. So this is a really great way to generate free ground tiles. if you need ground tiles, because like, a lot of the areas on the map is either filled with like a large gap, like a gap like this, like a canyon. Okay, I think he's coming. Okay, so you hear the shaking noise, right? Nope. Okay, I thought he was coming. I thought just when the ground was shaking. And you need, and of course, there's not enough, ground tiles to go around in the existing world to fill up all the holes. So the best way to get new ground tiles from thin air is taking it off of Glorm's path. You can also use Glurch the slime boss to do it, but it's not as consistent. You have to and it's a lot of effort too. You gotta lure him out of his spawn point, and then have him chase after you, and you have to lure him into like a water pool or a ditch or of some sort. But at least with the Glorm's path, you can actually get reliable ground tiles without even having to engage the boss. So give it a few here, and you'll hear him start pathing here, and then all that will get refilled up. All right, so here, you see it? Here he comes. So now you come here over here. Okay, that was not part of his path, right? So that was not a part of his path. So you want to actually get the tiles that he actually covers up. And this is another trick too, when to find out where his exact pathing is. So that will allow you to know where to stand if you want to fight him, using the inner track as a way to avoid getting hit or run over, and also as a trick to know where to place traps if you plan on placing traps. So here we've got 86 tiles. That's good enough. All right, so I'm gonna go back. So that's the reason why I don't rush to kill Ghorm right away, because I like to use him to get as much ground tiles as possible in the early game, because to respawn him it requires 500 currencies, and at the start of the game you don't actually have access to currency. Collecting 500 is quite a bit. But yeah, after you beat Ghorm, and if you want him to respawn where you can get ground tiles, you can do that, because he's great for getting ground tiles. And why is ground tiles useful? Like, ground tiles is something that you can use to farm on, because as I demonstrated here, wood will not grow on sand, right? You can't plant the root on sand, and the wood will not actually branch out onto the sand. So that's why you want ground tiles. So had these been ground tiles, they will actually fill that, given the right condition, of course. But and that's the reason why I left that there, to show you why ground tiles is really useful to have. So here I'm just going to remove all the sand and then replace it with my ground tiles. And let me take this out here. And just replace all this, because it just looks better with the ground tiles. And we're going to go ahead and place this line here. Okay. Remove all this. So I can replace this. So that's how you can get, ground tiles from thin air and also have it as a renewable source by using Ghlorm to cover it up, the ground area that you've dug up. Okay, oops. Remove this. There we go. I'm gonna redo this as well. Just oops. And the nice thing about fences is that you're actually kind of halfway in on that tile. Right, so let's see here, like, oops, I forgot a bunch. Since I'm on that tile, I actually can literally break it by being on it. But here's an example of how I can still be on. I can still go left and right, removing that. Because the fences, you're halfway on it. Okay. Put that down there. Refill that up. So now we've got a nice little slime farm. And you just gotta wait a little bit, and they will reappear. Let's see if I have any spike traps. I don't have any spike traps, but I do want to craft some if I have any tin. Well, let me see if I got any tin here. I might not have any tin on me. Oh, I do have a little tin. Not a lot. We're gonna have to probably farm for that. But yeah, let's craft a couple of tin or spike traps. So if you want to, have your thing be removed or be killed for you automatically, you just stick a spike trap here. Eventually, they will go this direction. You just collect it from here if you want, right? And so let's go ahead and create a larva farm since we're already here. You can either do the island trick or you just do a simple room. And today we're just going to do like a simple room. Okay. Let's go ahead and clear this out a little bit. Gosh, we have a lot of sand, don't we? Another trick you can do with your room is if you want light source in the room, right? You can actually just put torches in the corner and fill up these edges here with water. If you wanted to see into the room, your crystal farm, and we'll do that in a second here to show you. Okay, craft a couple of these. Oh, I ran out of ground tiles. Eat this. But I'm going to probably just take some ground tiles from here. But you're taking away ground tiles from another location. So just keep that in mind. That's why I prefer taking ground tiles. You know what? I could probably just do a room that's filled with sand. That could work too for now. If you just want sand in here, that's fine too. It won't matter too much. They should spawn on the sand. Okay, so let's say if you wanted some light into the room. You can have light. Let me remove this. And we probably just put sand as something along the edge. Or the flooring if you wanted. I don't mind actually using the sand as my edging. Okay, so let's go get some wall tiles. Let's see here, where was oh yeah, let's go get some of these. I like having some of these. Alright, so let's say I want the wall to be here. Alright, now I want to fill this up with water. No, I'll just fill this up with sand too. We'll do that here. Okay, now we can close this off and put the light source here. So all I'm doing here is creating a chrysalis room for the larvas. Okay. Oops, let's just go ahead. The reason I'm dropping sand down here is at least I want to take the ground tiles. And since I don't have to look at the sand, it's not that big of a deal. That. And here, we'll fill this up with sand. We'll seal this off right here. Okay, I gotta open the. Let me fill this up now. Okay. Drop the light there. Just refill that up. Let's just refill that with ground tiles. That's fine. And we're gonna do the same thing. That area here. And we're gonna put that sand here. There we go. And now we seal this off. And I need a door, so let's go get a door here. One. Okay. So let's stick our door here. We go in. Let me seal this off here. Oh yeah, I think I had a nice little. Do I want to make this smaller? Let's make this smaller. No, that's fine. Let's go ahead with this. Okay, and then we're going to get some chrysalis. We're going to fill that up. Oops, not here. Try to keep this short here. Alright, and then we can. You know what? Actually, it might be. You know what? I think the sand might look better. Or I mean, the ground tiles might look better because it's all kind of sandish like in the middle here. Because it's a little bit better pink on pink. Alright, like that. And then you can just now place this on the ground. Like right here. See how that we got already our first mob there? And that turned out really nice. Okay. Hang on, let me remove this one for the ground tile there. Put this back. There we go. I just don't have enough tin to fill up this whole entire room. But if they make their way towards the edge here, that will work too. So there you have it. You got a simple AFK. You got free loot here. Here's another one that's just started spawning. How about that? So if you wanted to, you can go over here, level up your melee skills or your your range if you want to use range. And that's pretty much it for setting up the early mob farm for AFK loot, or just use them as a way to level up your vitality and melee if you don't want to use the Hive Mother room to do your vitality leveling. Alright, so that will be the end of the video here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time, where we will do a guide for farming. Okay, and some of the things that we've discussed in this video will actually help you for setting up the farm, the garden stuff. So I will catch you guys later.